If any of my family are watching, or any of my close friends, you might want to skip this video, especially if you don't even want to consider thinking of myself in a romantic type situation. Basically, nobody should watch this video. I'm so good at promoting. I don't intend for this to be salacious. I'm not the type of person to kiss and tell. I'd much rather upload it onto a website for everyone to see for eternity. But it is springtime, the time of new love, and it's gotten me to thinking about the first time I was ever with a guy. And if you've read the title of this video, then you know what I mean when I occasionally say been with. This is hard to admit, but it happened in a hotel room. And it was not necessarily the way that I pictured this moment happening, especially when you were raised on Disney films and really Hollywood in general, where you anticipate meeting someone that you just really have a crush on, and it kind of just happening in your life, and not it's going to happen at this date, at this time, at this place. We both agreed upon this. We knew exactly what was going to go on, but inside myself, as I waited alone in that hotel room, just kind of staring at the blank white walls and the terrible hotel art that they put up there, I had this increasing level of dread, as if some sort of black, evil force was clutching onto my heart and squeezing it ever so slowly. Oh, by the way, I should have warned you, this is going to be a super funny video. So I was petrified. I knew at that very moment, as I waited there with trepidation, that this was not really what I wanted to do. I didn't want to go through with this, but there was this weird sense of duty, or this weird sense of upholding my word that I needed to go forward with. And so I sat there and I waited and I waited, and then finally, so I went towards the door, approaching my fate, and I opened it, and there he was, slouched against the hallway, all cool and suave, with his hair all kind of slicked over his forehead. He kind of looked like a Mexican Adam Driver. So I invited El Kylo Ren into the room, and he sat on the couch, I sat on the bed, and I nervously fiddled around with my fingers, because what do you do with your hands when you're about to have your entire life change? I distinctly remember him asking, "Have you done this before?" And I panicked, and so I lied outright and said, "Yeah, of course, I've done this many times before." Which was absolutely not the case, and the terror and the fear kind of crept back up into my chest, and he came towards me and we embraced, and then it happened. So the it I'm not going to go into specifics of, but we fumbled around and there was a bit of fun to be had, but at the end of the day, when it was all over, he left the hotel room and the door swung shut behind him and gave this loud crack, as if thunder of judgment was coming down from on high. And I sat there on the bed, and I knew that this was never something that I ever wanted to do again. Not the sex was fine, but it was the feeling of being used. It was the feeling that I just did something that should have been a great moment, and I have debased it to a point where I feel cheap, and I feel not right about this entire situation. I feel dirty, but not the good kind of dirty. I just feel like I've been discarded. I was proud of myself that I didn't cry. And something definitely did change that night. And it wasn't just the passing in of my V card. It was more that I now understood that this is not what Kyle is. This is not how I want to operate. This is not the way I want to feel. My self-worth and my self-esteem is better than this. That I don't need to feel cheap to feel loved, and I don't need to degrade myself in order to receive love from another person. But at the same time, and this could very well be me just trying to justify my actions, but I also think it taught me that in order to understand what you do like, sometimes you have to figure out what you don't. I just know that I never want to feel like that again, and if you want to take any type of lesson from this video, it's that you don't need to ever feel like that either. And I realize I'm about to end making it sound like this is some big self-help guru life lesson I'm throwing at you, but again, this is just what I've discovered for myself. It's that we as humans crave connections, whether it's family, whether it's friends, whether it's romantic. And I guess at the end of the day, what I learned is that you can get those connections without sacrificing yourself. I told you, super funny. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Kyle. I upload videos every Thursday. Every week I also sorta co-host a podcast called Whatever This Is. A link to that and all of my social media is down in the description below. I appreciate you allowing me to be vulnerable in front of you. What are your thoughts? Let me know down in the comments. Even if it's your first time, I promise I won't make it awkward.